Welcome to The Scoop with Dukes. I'm your host, Philip Dukes, aka DukesTheScoop. Check me out on Twitter and Instagram at DukesTheScoop, and please be sure to hit the like and subscribe button. If you have not become a member yet, roll down to the description on this video, and at the bottom, you can become a member of the channel for member perks. All right, this is an AU Scoop, and we got to talk about Coach Freeze, man. Coach Freeze. I met Coach Freeze a few times. Coach Freeze is a really likable guy. Real nice guy, down to earth guy from what I see, for what I've seen, and yeah, I like Coach Freeze. Coach Freeze has some. Coach Freeze press conferences trip me out sometimes, and not even in a bad way, but sometimes I'm just like the coach speak is like the coach speaky is coach speak, and it's almost like Hugh. We've heard it before, man. You got to prove it, dog. Like right now, you got to prove it. So what we can do is, man, I got some quotes from Coach Freeze's press conference. My man Nathan King took over at Auburn Undercover. Shout out to Auburn Undercover. My boy Nate wrote these out. So um, let's just go over some of these quotes. Let's just see what you guys think. Quote one: It's exciting to be in what I refer to as season two after the bye week. Obviously, wish we could have gone into it with different circumstances. All right, so I get it. This being season two, I mean, right now you look at Auburn's record. Yeah, you kind of see how you want to separate what's going on, but it's really. I know it seems like it's really still season one. You can't like it's not like season two would be next year. See, this is the third year of Hugh Freeze. Season four is next year, and I get what he's saying. It's like, all right, let's watch the first one away. But this is the thing: you get all off season to prepare for quote unquote season one. And this is season three, and the results are expected to be here. The heads expected to be in the barn, and right now, Auburn fans are like, "Look, bro, it's time," and that's why you're hearing, people starting to say, "Is Hugh the man for the job?" because of the on field performance. So, yeah, I get what you're saying, Coach, but at this point, I think Auburn fans are really ready to see it on the field, and this is a perfect opportunity against Georgia to prove this season two theory right. But last year, we saw after the bye, it seemed like Auburn got worse. So you got to really take this season two thing. See, or I don't even know if you call it season two. Just call it getting better. All right, because the separation of seasons doesn't really guarantee better football play. All right, now this is a true statement. Next quote: There's still so much in front of us. We can't wait to get back in Jordan here. Fair. Still a lot in front of you. Like the SEC, the parity in the SEC allows for you to be 0-2. And with the amount of teams that are just kind of even this year, we thought Texas was going to be otherworldly. They're not. Georgia looks. This is probably one of the not as dominant Georgia teams as we've seen in recent times. Tennessee lost to Georgia. They're not even they favor by like 12 against Arkansas. They just lost by 40 to Notre Dame. So Ole Miss, I'd say probably, and Ole Miss almost lost to Arkansas at home. If it wasn't for a late fumble, Arkansas takes that game in overtime. So they were driving. So I don't see the out in front juggernaut this year. So there is a lot in front. So that's fair. That's fair, coach. He reiterated that the Texas A&M loss falls on the coaching staff. I agree with you. I like this from Coach Freeze. I love the accountability from Coach Freeze right here. Being that because you really have to figure out a way to run the ball. Like 8 carries is unacceptable, just unacceptable. And you got to figure out a way to get Jackson Arnold comfortable because you chose him. This is your guy. They gave you a bag and said, "Go get your quarterback." You went and got three. You got Deuce. Now you got the 5-star. Then you got Jackson Arnold, and you got Ashton Daniels, who was a starter at Stanford. So you got to pick your groceries. So now you kind of gotta take that on coaching staff when they don't perform as well. Or so kudos to Coach Freeze for taking accountability. in a time where it's easy to like, and they've said Coach Freeze is throwing people under the bus before. Some fans feel like that. So to see him take accountability the way he did, I appreciate that, Coach. Uh, it starts with me and our staff having us adequately prepared to not be behind the chains. Love it, Coach. We just got to see it. We love that. We just got to see it. I think you only ran the ball 5 times on first down. Penalties on first down. We'll get to the penalties in a minute. Incomplete passes put you in automatic 2nd and 10. Then if you get the 2 or the 3 on the second one, then you're automatically in 3rd and long. That's 2 incomplete passes, 3rd and 10. You almost got no shot. So you gotta play. You gotta play complementary football. You gotta play smart football. You gotta play time of possession football, ball control football. You gotta move. You gotta play You gotta play Auburn football. Is what you have to do. You got to play Auburn football. The quote of the year, man, I felt like my soul was lifted when Damari Austin had the death, Texas, and Auburn running the football quote after the Baylor game. It felt so good. Like, yes, we're back. We can win like this. And then they stopped running the football. So, yeah, we got to see it, Coach, for sure. The question was, is Jackson Arnold too afraid to make mistakes? And Coach Freeze says, I'd love him to be a little more free, particularly with the playmakers we have. Don't we all, Coach? We'd all love to see him be more free. Throw the ball, Jackson. Get rid of the ball. Try it. Throw it. That's it. That's what we want to see. And I particularly feel like that because I am the one who kind of started the Jackson Arnold and John Mateer similar thing. And I got roasted. Not in that game in particular as much as I did after the game because we saw the way he held the ball against Texas A&M was unacceptable. So, yeah, we do want to see Jackson because I believe in Jackson Arnold. I do he has the tools, but utilizing the tools is a whole different ball game. If you don't throw the ball down the field, who cares if you got a cannon, right? Freeze says meetings with Arnold were centered around him playing more free in the passing game. Okay, that goes along with that. Freeze said he expects Too Tall Miller to get more rotations this weekend. I can see that. Continue to harp on staying ahead of the chains. I'm glad he's harping on that. I'm glad because when you get in these 30 long situations and the defensive line is able to pin their ears back and just go after the passer, this year's offensive line hasn't been the type of offensive line that says, all right, I mean, you gave up 10 sacks against Oklahoma, dog. Like, no, you can't allow the defense to know what's coming. You can't. You just cannot. And they're sending 4, and they're getting home with 4, dropping 7. So the 7 being dropped is gonna you got to put Jackson Arnold in favorable situations because he's already kind of like a little bit scared to make a bad pass or scared to turn the ball over, which ain't a bad fear. It's just the fact when that fear is paralyzing your ability to make plays. That's where the fear of turning the ball over hurts you. When it paralyzes you from your ability to actually make a play. So with that being said, what you got to do is keep the defense honest. So 3rd and 3, you might run the ball. They can't cheat the safety back. They can't roll them over the top. You got to have that guy in the box. You can't have 2 safeties over the top. You got to have that guy in the box. Heavy box, easier to throw. Not throw it up to Cam Coleman. When you and I 1000% believe that the shots to Cam Coleman that we've seen him take this year, I believe they were called shots. You're going to get this look. You see this look, you go to Cam. That's how it feels. So, and I could be wrong. And at the end of the day, and I love to say this, like it's easy to be in my position. It's easy as a fan for us to be in our positions and to say how things are going and how they look. So just to be fair to everybody. Free says Georgia's ability to adjust over the course of a game is their biggest strength. Now, I will say this. The defense, when they came out against Alabama, looked like it was going to be a long game. Todd Simpson looked like the Heisman Trophy winner in that first half, and then they adjusted. They gave up, I think, only 7 more points. So that adjustment that they will make adjustments, and we saw it last time they were in Auburn. Auburn was Georgia was struggling to move the ball. They just adjusted. They just said, "All right, give it to Brock Bowers," and they Brock Bowered all the way down the field, and Auburn didn't adjust, and they won the game. And the game that Auburn really probably should have won, or had a better opportunity to make it a better game. So yeah, Georgia's ability to adjust, and you got to see Auburn make the adjustments. Now, I do feel like DJ Durkin is pretty good at making adjustments. Like once he sees and he's getting beat to sleep, then he'll figure out how to make the type of adjustments where he can continue to bend and not break. But you do want to see Auburn offensively make adjustments. Say, all right, we're behind the chains, run the ball. We're behind, we're not moving the ball. Let's get some short game going. Get the ball out of his hands. Get Jackson some comfortable throws, some rhythm throws, something that'll make him feel comfortable. Last quote. No, this may not be the last one. Let me see. Everything is still in front of us, and it starts with an incredible rivalry game. Yes, it does. That could be exciting or scary if you're an Auburn fan. Horatio Field still has approximately 6 weeks left to return to practice. 6 weeks, maybe Iron Bowl, maybe is what it sounds like. So at this point, everybody's available. Damari Austin is back, which is good. I hope he gets the ball. I hope Jeremiah Cobb gets the ball. I hope the running backs get the ball. Here we go. Quote of the day. Coach Freeze, I love you for this. Coach Freeze, you snap with this. Because this lets us know that coaches, sometimes it feels like coaches are disconnected from the fan base. And this allows people to realize that coaches are connected. They're not tone deaf. And Coach Freeze, there have been some times where people felt like he didn't say the right things. But this quote is so true. And this quote, I commend Coach Freeze for this. I love it. He says, nobody wants to hear that we're closer. We've got to get over the hump in some of these games. Nobody wants to hear it. Sick of next year. Auburn literally suffers from next year-itis. Next year, 19. It's been happening since 2020. The Auburn Tigers have not had a winning season since Gus Malzahn left. And people were upset about the 8 wins. They would take 8 wins in a heartbeat right now. Oh, my goodness. You know you're going to consistently get 8, 9 wins, and every few years you might get a 10. That's what it was under Gus. But, man, that 10 was fun. How far away does the 10 look now? Nobody wants to hear we're closer. Nobody wants to hear, oh, man, we were this close. We've seen it. Or to quote my man, we synced it. Synced. It's time. And I think Auburn fans would agree. So appreciate you not being tone deaf on that, Coach Freeze, because that's how people feel. Auburn fans feel like we're sick of next year, tired of it. Now, when your two main rivals are Auburn and Georgia, you ain't been. I can't remember the last time we beat Georgia, 2017 maybe. And this is something that we thought we had a chance of winning every year back then. It's been 2017. The last time, man, my son, listen, the last time Georgia beat Auburn, my son was in pre-K. And my son right now is halfway through the 6th grade. Let that sink in. He also, we got a couple more quotes. They're playing with passion and energy. I don't see any of that wavering. Okay, cool. They are. They're playing spirited football. Shout out to Debo Atkins, man. He's one of those guys that is just like, the way that he plays, it's infectious, man. So shout out to Debo Atkins. That defense, man. Ken Lee, Jay Crawford, Keyron Crawford going crazy. Yeah, I mean, you got some pieces on that defense that you can see the passion. And when guys get to make plays on offense, you see a little passion. It's just the offense has kind of been anemic, just to be honest. But the talent is there. And here's the quote. Here's the quote of the press conference. Freeze says Auburn staff tested left tackle Xavier Chaplin's hearing during the bye week after the Virginia Tech transfer had 5 false starts over the last 2 games. He really struggles to hear in those environments. And basically, and people on Twitter going crazy, basically saying the guy has a hearing issue. I kind of wish you ain't have to say. I mean, I know you want to protect the guy, because people going crazy like he sucks and all of that, but he doesn't suck. The NFL knows he doesn't suck. But man, that was one of those ones you kind of went like, hey, man, you might want to put that in. We ain't had to tell everybody did with Coach, but hey, man, Coach Freeze is the captain of the ship right now, and he saw fit. So that was probably the head scratch. I want to call it maybe a head scratching moment, not just like, hey, Coach, maybe not drop that one. Could say, hey, maybe say, hey, man, we went over some things and we think that we have a fix for him. We went over some things fundamentally or foundationally with Xavier, and we found out some things that we found a fix for. That may have been good, just because of how vicious social media can be, But hey, man, that's my time for today, man. Just wanted to go over Coach Freeze's quotes, man. He's a quotable guy. I can say that to say the least, man. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button and drop your predictions in the chat. How do you see this Auburn UGA game going? Oh, matter of fact, let's go to mybookie.ag and see if the spread has moved in. We're going to go to mybookie.ag right quick. And if you have not already, and if you do any sports betting, go to mybookie.ag, use my code DSCOOP, the letter DSCOOP, and you will get up to $500 matched. And you will also get, if you lose your first bet, they give it back to you. So use my code DSCOOP, and it looks as if the spread has not moved at all. The spread is still standing firm at 3.5. Let's go check it out. You see it right here? Georgia by 3.5, less than 4, over under 46. All right. Over under looks like it dropped. Okay. So now, yeah, that's 24. What's that? 25-21. It actually did drop. So the over unders dropped a little bit. I think it was at 47.5 earlier. So the scoring is going down. Okay. Looks like it's shaping up to be Vegas sees a defensive battle. I kind of see it the same way. But yeah, go to mybookie.ag. But yeah, appreciate your time. I'll have some more content tomorrow. What y'all want to talk about? Drop it in the comments. We'll talk about it all. All right, man. Appreciate y'all. I'm out.